Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Hindsight Podcast. Does anybody have an idea what episode this is? Because on the script, I made episode 18. 20. Episode 20. It's been an incredible run so far, but we're glad to announce that we now have a new platform to debut the podcast on Clubhouse. Welcome to Hindsight Podcast to Clubhouse, because we're actually there now. And that's great because every time we speak to some of the people who spend their data and time, to follow us, we don't quite get to talk real time. And I told the producer of the show that we are a bit late in producing the show because we shoot on a Thursday every time, so we don't have enough real time content, and that's not good enough. So we're deciding to debut on Clubhouse, and that's great because Lionel Messi Factor, Swimpy, IBK, Neobon Monday, Ferguson, Nee, Wale. We can all just be in one place at real time and talk about the game. Isn't that lovely, right? Great stuff. Welcome along to the show, right? So let's get into some Champions League reviews. I'm going to just have to welcome you back, right? Because you haven't been here in, 2 months there.
Swimpy, my guy. Swimpy, my guy.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Right.
One more time.
Great stuff.
Swimpy, we know they did serious for you.
Swimpy,
I don't understand.
You add weight. You get. You actually need to do some weight, man.
No, I'm actually planning a workout series for myself. No. Honestly, it's already in motion. It's already in motion because before you start, you have to do some sort of cleansing, dieting before you move into.
So you're going about it the right way.
Yes.
See,
because I'm in this space. You don't need to actually tell me.
Make I tell you the truth, Swimpy.
I know.
You know they plan anything.
It's funny because do you know this? Swimpy is actually a pharmacist. Pharmacist?
Yeah.
No, but
so
you see, he's a pharmacist. Now, why if he say if he that boss? But the thing is, you say you want to work out. You say now you're not planning. What are you planning?
Wait, Swimpy, you are pharmacist. Those slim tea, do they actually work?
I don't come here.
That's another discussion for another day.
No, to be honest, slim tea.
I would not want to out a profession
Because
that is sacred.
I've seen slim tea. I've seen slim tea in pharmacies, and I'll be like, but people talk against this thing, so I think you are the right person.
But Swimpy losing work.
It's not like
You always be losing job. I mean, get money to business.
Make him talk. Now.
I know there's a sacred license for that.
Keep it professional. Keep it simple.
Okay.
Welcome back to the show.
Everybody said that.
Have you back on the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great stuff. IBK. I see that the reason you kept this phone on this table is to body shame us.
You know that snake zen there. I don't play. I'm tired. I don't see that snake thing. I will play snake, slip off on top of the snake. I was God.
Snake
it's entire man.
snake.
You know, in Nigeria now, Nigeria now, for every gathering, every mixing, every congregation, you get Sapa is like that uninvited guest.
I'm telling you.
You get so
fine.
somewhere even around this table,
Sapa shows
Sapa
up.
is somewhere. You
Shows
understand?
up.
Okay, but we come to our Clubhouse now. You have to get your phone.
You have to get your
Because
phone.
I can tell you for free, I don't think even in Yabon Monday or Lakunle Pools has the kind of love you have.
You got a huge fan base, bro. Come on, don't let them down.
But when they see Messi, they see white money.
I'm telling you.
Which kind of fans I get?
You see that's, which brings me to my next point.
Yeah, which kind of fans I get?
Which is my next point.
Can we have
My next point is that
Can we have
they're actually
IBK fan club?
They're actually not your fans. They're your friends.
They're your friends. You get.
Wait, so, Sapa with them. You mean they help?
Then said they Sapa FC.
Your friends are different from your fans.
Yeah.
Your fans are, they stand you, all that kind of stuff. But these are your friends, so they literally don't, they're not starstruck.
Yeah,
they just like the fact that what you bring to the show.
And it's important to mention that because I think what we have friends, not necessarily fans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we have people who just love what we do. It's not like they are in awe or they are,
Yeah.
they are not groupies.
By
more
next
or
week,
less.
I should have something better than this by next.
You're expecting something huge.
Something huge.
Huge, very huge.
Okay, great stuff. So what do we start? I mean, we've been here for about an hour even before we started shooting, and to be honest, trying to figure out what we should talk about sometimes can be a bit tasking because when you have such an intelligent fan base or listener base, you realize that what they come to expect from you is very high quality
stuff.
and we like the pressure. but it's also good. It's a lot of pressure, but it's good pressure.
Speaking of which, somebody actually hit me up yesterday on Instagram.
Right.
And it was like, when are you guys going to talk about so and so and so? So it happens a lot.
Yeah.
So people hit you, they'll hit us up and be like, sometimes, individually, privately, sometimes on the Hindsight Pod pages or platforms, and they're like, you guys should talk about this, or you guys should talk about that. So yeah, it can get intense.
So let's start off with Matchday 3 then. I think it's only right that we do a bit of a review. I think that it's quite normal now that every time, we should have known this, every time Messi scores, you know what happens next.
Yeah, Ronaldo
follows.
Definitely.
And for some reason, I don't remember how many times Messi and Ronaldo have played the same day in Champions League.
Same day.
They don't play the same day.
No, I don't think they play the same
Hardly ever
day. Hardly.
They don't.
Hardly. I don't
that's
think
not
I
a
have
coincidence, right?
figured.
Hardly ever do.
You think that's not a coincidence?
That's a TV right thing.
Yeah, that's
I think so. It's a TV right thing.
That's a
Yeah.
TV right
They've
thing.
not.
Yeah.
That's a TV right thing.
Obviously, they have to position it in
PSG
such a
play
way
cool.
where they will accrue more viewership on this day and another viewership
Yeah.
on this day. They can't put two juggernauts on
But then
the
again,
same day.
the fixtures were more or less
Except for the
set
finals or
before
semi-finals.
Messi moved to PSG,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The fixtures were set before Messi moved to PSG.
Yeah.
So
So it's more, for me, I think it's,
But regardless, it has always been like that. I think even at Barcelona, they've never played on the same day at the group stages.
I think they knew something might happen.
okay.
They never played on the same day at the group
makes sense.
stages.
whatever it's down to,
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Except when they're in the same group, like what's it called? When Cristiano
every
Ronaldo
time Messi and Ronaldo in the same group?
Juventus and Barcelona were in the same group.
Right.
So,
Funny thing is, every time I
they
think
played.
about Ronaldo, the Juve part of Ronaldo's career is blurred in my mind.
Yeah, kind of.
To be honest,
Kind of.
it's a bit blurred in my mind.
Kind
I
of.
think first, even United is in the back burner, so I think Real Madrid first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because
I have much
yeah.
Because his major highlight was that.
And this
like,
has a lot to
major
do with the
highlight.
classical, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is important to start off with.
That was the Messi Ronaldo factor. It was.
When Karim Benzema calls it the best game in the world, I think even he himself must realize that that's heresy. I watched Barcelona play against who they play?
Dynamo Kiev.
Dynamo Kiev.
I don't think I enjoy watching Barcelona play
At all.
I think
Yeah, obviously.
and I dare say, even when they were in their prime, I didn't necessarily enjoy watching them play. You know what? This is a bit of you can say I'm a hater, and that's fine because they just
Quite
were too
boring.
dominant. So I'm gonna ask: does any football fan enjoy watching a result? Except you're supporting the team.
Okay.
Does any football fan enjoy watching a team that you know already what they can do? Does
What
anybody
they do.
enjoy watching Barca play in their
Or
prime?
Bayern Munich.
Or Bayern Munich play?
Yeah. Okay, so for Barca,
Do you enjoy watching Bayern Munich
let me start.
Yeah, I
For
think-
Barca, yeah.
Hold on a sec. Go for it.
For Barca, yeah.
Just flexing my powers.
for Barca, yeah, I feel like watching them play, that's like during the Ronaldinho era, I really enjoyed them.
Yep,
like
facts.
Ronaldinho, Samuel Eto'o, that class, Deco. It was pretty much the beauty of football. You want to watch it. I mean, I used to watch their games late into the night. And then you'd have cable in your house, but you still want to go to the viewing center to see it because the drama, the excitement,
That's you, Shah.
stay up late. No, I'm just saying, this is me. But I actually really enjoyed watching that era.
Yeah.
But when it shifted from the Ronaldinho era to the Messi era, it became redundant of some sort. Like, I already know when they're playing Osasuna, I say, they'll beat them like 3-0.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm like, no need to watch it, I already know. So I think, yes, probably when it comes to the era, period, or time frame, yes, I could say that.
You asked if I enjoy watching
Bayern Munich play.
Bayern Munich. I do compared to Barcelona.
Right.
When you put it in context of we're comparing Barcelona and Bayern Munich, because there's a difference in the sense that Bayern can still raise your adrenaline with the style of play. There's action. So with that prime Barcelona, there's a lot of passive passing of the ball. So we pass. So with Bayern Munich, there's that. We pass 1, 2, 3. Somebody's hitting a long range effort.
Yeah.
Lewandowski is hitting something really serious.
Yeah.
So there's that thing that gets you really interested.
Nabry.
Or Nabry.
Or
Do you understand?
Sadgnabry. Or Kingsley Coman.
Kimmich. Did you see the free kick Leroy Sané scored?
Yeah.
So there's that thing that gets your blood pumping. And that's the difference. With Barcelona, it's just too many passes. Just too many. And naturally,
In the Messi
personally
era.
for me, I enjoy that high octane level of,
Which is why I enjoy
hit the ball.
I think the only reason people would pick Bayern is that like he said, Bayern.
No, in different eras.
Practically, yeah.
There's a Bayern era that wasn't interesting at all.
I won't say there's a Bayern era because Bayern will practically assure you goals. Like if you want to see a Bayern game, let me use that Champions League game for an example. They disallowed about 2-3 goals.
Yep.
I was seeing it. Yeah, I was seeing it on live score. I was like, 0-0. This thing is not normal.
They scored their first goal around the
61 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Bro, I checked full time and I was like 4-0. I was like, how come? Like, so this is what Bayern assures you of goal. Like someone said, Bayern is a very ruthless side. When they have 10 chances,
does the Barcelona prime don't assure you of goals?
No, Barca would rather, give you this, like you said, pass around the ball, walk the ball into the net. But Barca would not convert 9 out of 10 chances. I can tell you that.
So
Bayern would do that.
And you know that because you're a Barcelona fan.
Yes, Bayern would convert 9 out of 10.
I mean, it's hard to do this.
Bro, Barca is always very boring. I won't lie to you. If it's not a classical,
coming from a Barcelona fan, end of discussion.
If it's not a classical, you have to take it.
Barca is very, very. They're always very boring. That's the truth. They're always very boring.
I'm not even going to add anything. That's incredible. Now I forgot what I wanted to say because I wanted to make a point. What's that point I wanted to make? But now let's get it from me. So I asked that because we saw a game yesterday. We're together seeing the game. And I thought, anybody watching this must be watching this religiously. Must be in pain.
Barcelona, Dynamo Kiev.
That wasn't. I can't watch that.
Yeah.
And how Tebas said that the La Liga is too slow.
And that's my thing,
transition.
though. And that's where
the game is actually too slow. I struggle to see how the La Liga become a. I think there's something has to change in terms of how they go about the way they approach the game. And I kind of feel like there is I'm mumbling now, I beg your pardon. There is this idea that the most successful era in football, and I think it was the most successful era in football I've ever seen. I don't think anything will come close to it. What Barcelona did with Pep,
Okay.
It was so dominant, so
right.
irrepressible, constantly coming at you back to back.
True.
Attack after attack. I think that was great. But even that had a bit more excitement. The difference with that and this is that you have a lesser quality type of players trying to execute that.
They don't even create chances.
Because I remember watching Pedro and I thought, this guy is incredible. What he can do with the ball. I remember watching Sanchez. Sanchez was had some spark. Messi at his prime, was when he was a kid. But you don't have this other Barcelona light teams trying to execute the same system. You watch Valencia play, you watch maybe Villarreal play, you watch maybe Mallorca play. It's slow, it's passive. You're not quite sure what they want to do with the ball. And you're wondering, if the fans are here, if there's no alcohol in the stands, I don't see how I stand through that game.
So I think, for me, I think it's born out of a really high level of self-indulgence. And what I mean by that is, I think to a particular extent, the guys that, with running the La Liga believe that, we play football the way it should be played. Technically, we're very good. We play the game. We don't know. Look, at the end of the day, nobody really cares about that. That's why when you compare, the Premier League is like Hollywood.
Yes.
Compared to
any
every
other league.
football
Any
league.
other league.
The Premier League understands. And you see, recently, before the start of this season, they came and said, there's fouls that will stop giving now.
Yeah.
Because they want the ball, they want the game to keep moving.
Yes.
The VAR is already stopping the game for too long. So now we're not going to be calling some fouls because we want it to keep moving. So the Premier League understands that they're getting into the mind of the fans.
Yeah.
You know what? For example, again, another example, there's actually a study that says that loud music will get you, to drink more alcohol, for example.
Okay.
What that means is that you need to keep something pounding.
Yes.
Your adrenaline keeps, you need to keep it going up. So the Premier League understands that. So we need to excite the fans. Somebody's running down the byline.
I think the point is the Premier League is fantastic when it comes to like their marketing skill or idea or juggernaut high octane.
When we say that,
they're brilliant.
When we say that, you bother on being too technical.
Yeah.
The Premier League is so like a movie.
Yeah.
True.
That's what I mean. That's what I said.
It's
about
market
watching
is-
Which
it's
more
so-
if I say?
yes,
And Rafai touches a great point because the Premier League, the way the administration, so they have a product, right?
Yeah.
And what they decided to do was, it's a football. At the heart of it is
Thanks
football.
to Mike
Yes.
and
At the heart of
Atkinson.
it is football. But you see,
Mike
the
is a main
controversies
actor.
help. The way they sell it to you.
The way
they sell it to you.
They don't sell it. So that's why the Premier League is of course every league is personality driven.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the Premier League are heavy on the personality than the football.
Yeah.
True.
To be honest, they don't care about the football.
No, they don't actually.
care.
They don't actually.
They don't care about
They
the
don't
You
actually
said- you
care
said
about
it's
it.
Hollywood and
The
I agree.
marketing
Yeah,
part
it's Hollywood.
is
Because
what.
you look at Atkinson and you look at Mike Dean. This
You
guy,
see this thing that you just said.
these
Make your
guys
point, make your
will
point.
they will do something very deliberate,
Yes, to put this one on there.
You
and
see,
you'll be like, "But this thing is obvious."
you see
bro."
what he just said? It just popped in my head. Do we need to get to a point where you see with players now? Right? The top players earn a lot of money. Cristiano Ronaldo earn a lot of money.
True.
Neymar, Messi, they earn so much money. Do we need to get to the point where, because when you think about in this context or discussing the Premier League and how well they bring out their product and all that, Mike Dean is a see when they say somebody gets the memo, Mike Dean is the number one ref that gets the memo of let's keep the ball moving. So do we need to get to a point where these referees start getting paid? The same way these
the way
top
these
players.
players, yeah.
I honestly think that referees are.
I mean, referees should be
I think
paid.
referees don't get paid
It's
enough.
a very good,
Mike Dean
And this
trains
is a-
almost every weekend.
very good amount
This
of
is a
money.
conversation that is probably not for this particular episode.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that maybe we'll have to bring a referee in. But I think referees don't get paid.
No, they don't.
I
Everybody
agree.
knows.
For the
I
amount
totally
of
agree.
time,
Yeah.
the amount of time they see their name in the media,
Yeah.
the amount of time managers
And
talk
they get
about them,
crucified, yeah.
because we talk about image rights, but referees don't have image rights. What they have is naming rights.
True.
Right. I think they should have some sort of, the fact my name is in every other show, every other time. You see, why shouldn't that accrue some sort
Something
of
to me.
capital to
To
me?
me.
Yeah, you see, referees are almost like the judge in the courtroom. That's how important they are. Because the judge in the courtroom, right? There's a constitution, there's a rule book, there's
But he still makes his
But
own
he can
decision.
sway.
But you see, you now need the guy to understand 1000% the
that you're not
nuances, the context,
Yeah, what you're trying to say.
and all that. And it's almost the same thing with the referee. Because you have the rule book and you have all that, but you also need the referee to be able to
Mike Dean
discretion.
doesn't need the VAR.
Yes.
Mike Dean doesn't need the VAR.
And where
That guy is something
a lot
else.
of people underestimate the power of a referee is they can actually dissuade a game and they can make or mar anything
They're very
concerning
important.
that.
There's a
They're
league.
very
Right. So,
What you just said, there's a league that happens every day.
So
Yes.
But I'll mention the league.
so let's speed it
The
up.
league is very close to us anyways, bro. But I'll still mention it.
I know.
The Nigerian league is what it is. But I think that we're still in the stone ages as far as our league goes, right? And the problem I keep saying is that we don't have the right people running it.
True.
You don't have the right people running it.
True.
And I think, sorry, I'm
go for
really
it.
sorry to cut you off, but what you just said now, I agree. But also because you have people listening and all that, it might feel like, our referees are not, competent enough.
true.
But that's not entirely true. Because we've covered the league for such a long time. And we've heard lots and lots and lots of stories. Sometimes referees get assaulted.
Yeah.
The LMC comes out and says, this club will be fined so amount. It goes to the referee for his medical, whatever. It doesn't get to them.
It doesn't change anything.
I'm telling you that the
money
money
doesn't even get to them.
Doesn't get
So
to
they
the referee.
assault a referee
Oh, wow.
and they injure the referee, and the LMC says, this
Are
club
you
will be fined
serious?
so.
Yeah.
So this guy can, take care of his medical, whatever. It doesn't get to them. I'm not going to quote anybody.
Of course, it doesn't get to them. So the problem is, and I think that
It's an entire
when we
system problem.
speak about the Nigerian league, this particular show runs the risk of it snowballing into a Nigerian league show because we're so passionate about the league, and that's a cliche because everybody says it. But anyone who knows the personalities on this show and the amount of work that goes into how we do this show knows that the reason we don't touch the MPFL all the time, Because if we touch it as much as possible, we'll do more negatives than positives.
Let's just call it the way it is.
Yeah.
We touch it every time, we'll get problem.
We'll get issue. So let's leave that. I was going to real out because I mean, how can you do a football show or a podcast? Talk about football and you don't talk about the most important club tournaments in the world. So of course, City 1-5-1, PSG 3-2, Messi coming to life now. I think
gradually.
I think the people that understand a bit about this game knew that it would only be about a time before everybody realizes that this is the most important player here and he must be the poster boy. And I think that those early struggles everybody's beginning to understand, look, you're not as efficient as this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You might have an incredible talent. We recognize that. But if you're Mbappe, you know that your talent level on a scale of 10 is somewhere around 4 and Messi is at 10.
I think Yubi is very right because for the first time after that game, Mbappe had to come out and say that, when you realize that, man, say person pass you. I think that's what Mbappe came to realize that, And if you look at Messi right from the Barca days, I think the more closeness you have with him, the better you get. That's the truth.
True.
Neymar's highest rank in the Ballon d'Or stake has been when he was at Barca. The same thing with Suarez. Suarez scored about 50-something goals while he was playing with Messi. So Messi is more of a player that understands the game very well. If you play with him, if you have an off-field relationship with him, I think you only get better. And it's only a matter of time. People have been saying he's not scored in the league and all. But PSG they really don't care about him playing in the league. They brought him in because of the Champions League. And but I have a problem with the team, the defense and the midfield. I think they have not been.
PSG don't pay me a dime to talk about them. Right? I don't think our listeners care about PSG that much more than Messi. But IBK, I have to say, you make a great point with the Messi thing. A lot of times people read stories in the media, whether it be on the ESPN or on Sky or on the Telegraph or the Mirror, and they say, this player, you have to keep this guy happy. And sometimes even I, a lot of times, struggle to understand why that has to be the case. But I think you have to keep special talents happy.
Yeah.
You really have to. And going back to what YBK said, when you think about Neymar's best years, Suarez's best years, they've come when you clearly know that they have a good rapport with this guy. Because in him being better, he can make you better. And that's, in my opinion, something even Messi cannot control. That's something that he's just born with. If Messi is not happy on the pitch, I don't want to say spiritual, because then I'll be too Nigerian. But if Messi is happy, then as a result of his radiance, he can shine off you as well. You can shine. You can be part of the largesse.
It will bounce off you.
It's like a largesse.
It will bounce off you.
Going back to what Kylian Mbappe said, Mbappe has realized. Look, I'm a golden player, and that's fine, because Messi and Ronaldo are aliens. But see this guy. If this guy is happy at the club, then we can all feed off his energy. We can be more ourselves, as opposed to saying, I want to be the star guy. And I think that if everybody realizes that, if Neymar realizes that again, but Icardi, all these key players, then they can have a really solid team. So I dare say that at the moment, the key to PSG winning Champions League is keeping Messi happy.
But here's the thing now. Here's my own take. If you say keeping Messi happy, yes, you want to keep Messi happy, obviously to radiate through the entire team.
Yeah.
Because he's a special player. But on the other hand, now some of these players too want to attain or rather be at the level where Messi is.
Can they?
No, it's not. No, just chill first. It's not about the question of can they. They don't know that themselves. To themselves, they feel like, oh, I'm at this level now.
Mention names.
I'm talking about Neymar. Neymar had that same attitude at some point in Barcelona, playing alongside Messi.
I think that's why he went to PSG.
Yeah, that's why he left.
In the first place.
So he wanted to see, maybe if I go elsewhere, maybe I could achieve or break this bound and break this too dominant force and break to the next level. Now, everybody's struggling to break into that next cadre. The reason why you find the likes of maybe Lewandowski is because Lewandowski is dominant where he is alone. Probably nobody's overshadowing him. But when you play with Messi,
right,
you would always have, and you're a special player too, like you would always have this idea that or more. I want to be the next guy after this. Mbappe wouldn't want to.
I think the response.
Do you understand?
I think the response to you, because I think what you be and what you're saying is that you realize immediately when you're in the same team with Messi that look, this place where we deal. If this guy is good, we're good.
Yeah.
Because the fact that you even consider moving out of Barcelona, or in the case of Mbappe, moving out of PSG to attain where Messi is because you know that if you are
you
there,
can't be there and
attain
you can't attain it. Yes.
The fact that you know that
subconscious.
You get the fact that you know that I have to leave to attain here.
You have to live for him.
Means that you know
it can't
that
be two kings.
Here, I have to make him happy. Do you understand? The fact that you know that if I want to attain this, top level, I have to live here because there's this guy.
That's
here.
the fourth time we said it. We get it.
I mean, he's looking at me like he doesn't know what I'm saying.
We get it.
You get. It also means that, man, if you remain here, then you have to play to the gallery and understand that, this is the best player here. Yeah. It makes everything happen. I mean, Mbappe lost a penalty yesterday. Do you think Messi executed a Panenka? He wasn't the first player to do it, but under the circumstance, look, he doesn't really have anything to prove.
I watched a couple of years ago. I think you've seen it before or as well. There was a Castro sports science thingy video they did on Ronaldo.
Yeah. Sports science.
And sports science, Castro sports science.
Yeah.
How he plays the game.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that documentary as well.
And my old laptop that they stole.
It was ages ago now. It was when he was at Manchester United.
You get mine.
He was at Man United.
The things that on that computer.
Yeah, now when we did school, now you that thing was going around Unilag one time.
Yes.
How many? The one I had 3 episodes worth 3 hours. One was literally like 44 minutes thereabout.
Yeah.
And so the point I'm trying to make is that there are things that Messi and Ronaldo do that they don't realize they're doing it. They don't realize they're doing it. So in that video, there was they put this thing on Ronaldo's eye and stuff just to see the way his eye sees the game. And the professor of the thing was saying, when he's on the move, when he's dribbling, his mind, he's looking for solutions, spaces he doesn't even realize.
Yeah.
So he's looking for your colo.
Yeah.
What space means to
he's looking for small things that he can feed off you. And when they asked Ronaldo, when they took it off him and asked him, they played to him and show him this is what your brain is interpreting. He doesn't even know that. So going back to the Panenka story, right? Panenka, in the right moment, he just comes to him. He realizes he's probably calculating.
How many players go on Panenka?
No. He's calculating flight of the ball, tension.
He doesn't realize what he's doing.
Right?
He doesn't realize it.
Yeah, and I think
he's going to do it.
He's going to do it. And he's going to execute it at the highest level. So, and I think what busted my head most about that video was that the guy said, football players, we say they are football players, and that's how we put it. But that's lightly putting it. In any other profession, they're like professors. At that level, they're like double professors.
True.
Or like genius or something like that. But that's that.
They're
right?
like
So PSG,
Einstein level.
Right. PSG fantastic performance. I mean when you win 3-2, you could poke holes, but RB Leipzig also put in a good shift as well. Let's talk about Liverpool and Atletico Madrid. Or rather Atletico Madrid Liverpool.
Dramatic game. I
want to talk about Klopp's way of approaching football games, and that could be a bit problematic from my point of view. I think Klopp is a guy I would like to be around because his energy is just contagious. He does things that makes the place going, and you can easily see why he's a great football manager. Because to be a manager, you need to be able to bounce off your environment.
Yes, he has a very good human relation.
He's like, I don't know if you know a lot about physics. But
the reason, I know a lot about physics.
No, relax. I'm first now. Why do you think the Earth hangs in space? No. Why do you think human beings don't fall off the Earth?
Gravitation.
Gravity.
Yes,
but why?
Let's not go into it.
I don't catch you. I don't catch you. No. Point I'm trying to make is that.
See, I saw but this is when you ask, talk. We can now.
No, I don't know. You get, bro. The reason gravity works.
Let's continue this
Relax.
Let's not go into
Wait,
this.
I'm saying no. I'm making.
So you don't fit call me out like that.
I'm
Yeah.
making talk.
The reason we don't fall off because the Earth is round, right?
Okay.
Earth is round, and by
Earth
normal.
is actually not round.
Wait now, make you feel. You don't talk so you don't
You
know.
rewind me.
Can you?
Yes.
So what is square or rectangular?
What's the shape of the Earth?
No, relax.
Don't
So
worry.
let's go back to it. Earth is round. By that metric or by that analysis,
I'm loving this.
normally a guy that is here should fall off, right?
Yeah.
But the Earth has a bigger, its gravitational pull is equal to its mass, right? So the bigger the Earth is, the greater the gravitational pull it has,
Okay.
right? On you. That's why you don't fall off the Earth. So that's the point I'm trying to make about
This is the
your
way you
club.
talk now.
Yeah.
This is the way you
It's
talk.
fact.
You're correct.
Wait now. If you say the Earth is round,
Yeah.
this is the way you talk now. This VI now you did since. How you want to fall off if you don't come off for VI?
You want me?
No, na question. Because me, I don't know.
What kind of question is that?
The
That
Earth
question.
is
Because you
actually
said the
not
Earth
round.
is round.
Yeah.
So what was
And then
what's
this is
the
what you
Earth?
talk
The
now.
Earth
I
has,
don't know how it
like,
makes sense. I don't talk
there's
about
different-
So
There are different versions of the
you don't
Earth.
think you don't think the Earth is round?
No, I don't know. I just talk.
No, wait. Let's
Some say the Earth is in an egg-like shape.
Egg-like shape.
Yes. Some say
Oval, like oval.
yes.
Egg-like
So-
shape.
Egg-like shape, no,
Is it
round.
square?
Is
Not
it
square.
not-
Not square.
You don't know what they call
But
round.
why don't you follow?
Don't
That's
they call
the point. Why
round?
don't you
So
follow?
that's the thing. Then why don't you fall off?
The main question I have for you is this thing where you talk.
Yeah.
Say the gravitational pull is also equal to the mass. This thing where you talk, it makes sense to you.
But you don't know it.
Yeah,
not.
you don't know how. Why?
It's
So I
not.
think to say whether you.
But he
right or
does
wrong.
it.
They ask that.
But I do.
But I think, I think I remember when I was in school. Then
Oh my
the reason the Earth is round, I think they will talk about circumnavigation of the Earth.
Oh
they talk
my
about
God.
the horizons.
Oh
they
my
talk about,
God.
They talk about
All these things are
climate
very
change.
fair.
They talk about a lot of things.
When
Oh
you
my
go
God.
through
Babu
space,
Yes.
space technology and all of those
this
drills,
motherfucker.
you won't even when you start seeing certain things,
Person will
you'll be
study
confused.
HK, he dey talk
You'll
nonsense.
be confused. I'm serious.
Let's leave it. You don't know him. You don't
Oh,
know.
no, no, no,
IBK self no know.
No. I think actually understand. So the point
You don't know.
The point.
The problem is that he don't know you.
No, me
So
I-
you don't drink am.
No, me I know him. You
It's
get.
not enough.
So no wahala, but we don't get him. You see.
Oh my man, don't be physics
You see, the thing is that when you insult me, it's a booster. It's a booster. That means that what I'm saying is failing you. Oh my God! How many times?
Because of saying study engineer, you guys say that engineer.
Hiya!
Yes,
Oh
yes,
my
yes,
God!
yes,
The
yes.
bigger the mass of what?
Subi, stand up and go. Wale, please replace him.
But why?
The bigger the mass of what?
But why?
An object.
But
So no be wetin you talk be that now. That was not what he
Wait,
said.
wait.
School fee!
Wait, no, they are.
I go ask you now. I go ask you one simple question.
Wait.
How many planets did this galaxy?
What thing you saw they talk again?
How many? Now, very simple question, but it go
according
come
to wetin Wale talk, why Jupiter no get as much as the same gravity?
You don't go Jupiter before.
Don't go Jupiter before.
Jupiter is the biggest.
You
It's
don't go
not the
before.
biggest.
doesn't have gravity pool now. That's
And that's why you said the bigger.
But it's common
size.
sense now. The bigger the mass, the bigger the gravity pull. It's actually common sense. If you are bigger the mass, if you are heavier, the gravity pull is more. It's common sense.
And why waiting happen to Jupiter now in the talk?
You see, now when we finish, this left, you and Subi go talk that thing. But when you insult me, it's a booster.
Oh my God, don't be physics class. We won't talk budget.
Right. So I was talking about how we got there was your own club. Because he's such a contagious guy, he pulls everybody. But
He just has a very good human. He has human relation. That's it. That's the word. That's the word for. That's the word for club.
I don't die.
Clubs.
Who we club?
The club or whatever. Club. Whatever. It's a Java name.
Let club hear you.
It's a Java name. Club.
You know what? Let's leave. See, we don't leave Liverpool. So let's do United Atalanta, right?
All right.
I think that I don't think there's any person in the world that is not used to it.
I don't think there's anybody in the world than Oli that gets this right at the wrong time.
You know they spend a lot of time with me. Because, see, this Ole guy, right?
He always gets it right at the wrong time.
I think that United fans are in deep shit.
He's the worst.
Honestly,
He's the worst guy on the planet.
United fans are in
He
deep
gets it right
shit.
at the wrong time.
He's the worst guy.
This guy fit the United at least 4-5 more years.
Baba 10 years.
And the people they cuss out, they know themselves.
I think United fans are realizing that almost be like the only way to do it now to enter stadium, stop the game.
Sack this guy.
Get out of our club. Because at the moment,
Man, you fans the vex
this guy.
I swear, the vex.
When Atalanta scored 2-0, and that Twitter, I see guys, you know what I'm saying? Everybody on there happy. I can only imagine the anguish when these guys equalized. And I realized that, look, this thing might go on for such a long time.
I said the same thing.
But the question I wanted to ask about United stuff is, in the next 9 games, does it survive to the end of the year? Just off the top of your head.
Okay, so here it is. He said something. He said he's the guy that gets it right at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Now, going by the run of games that he has and what I've read or heard thus far, they've given him some number of games to like this whole tough run of games. Now, Liverpool, Man City, Atalanta, and the likes, Tottenham. Here's the thing. He might go on to win 3 of those games or 4 of those games. Those crucial games, 2 or 3 of them. And then they're already keeping him towards the end of the season.
Let's take wait away with that.
No,
Bro, should I tell you?
No,
I
actually,
think
no.
What Ole, I think what's happening to Ole is obviously with the arrival of Ronaldo now, is that you have a guy, you honestly have an element in the team. It's like having an element that has a life of its own, that's really independent of the team. So this guy doesn't care who's the manager, doesn't care whether you want to get the manager fired, doesn't care whether you want to get another manager hired. He just doesn't want to lose.
True.
So because look, Ole said something after the game. He said because Ronaldo was a striker, they wanted him to press people, they wanted him to run the channels. That's a 36-year-old guy.
36.
So for me, it's like, if Ronaldo wasn't in the game, and it's not as if United, never staged a comeback before Ronaldo.
Definitely.
Right? But I'm saying, like, with Ronaldo now, you have a guy that's a spirit that can push the team on its own. Because the guy is such a powerful force that if he's not happy, if he doesn't like your performance, if he doesn't like the team's performance, the entire club would feel it. In fact, the entire fan base would feel it. So that's what you have now. And this guy doesn't really care what's happening. He just wants to win. Doesn't care about the agenda. His own is that he has a motivation. There's Messi at PSG and they are winning games.
Yeah.
He wants to win. He doesn't want to be in the
headlines
of
Yes.
I think it's bigger than the club.
You get he's
obviously
bigger than the
he
club.
is.
No, obviously he is. This guy has
That's hard to say.
No. This guy has no. If you put it in perspective, this guy has 3% of the world following him on Instagram. He's bigger than anything. Do you understand?
I agree.
He's the most followed human entity.
Do you understand?
In the world.
So if do you know what it means?
How you man go be entity again?
Do you know what it means to have
a joke
3% of the entire world?
Right.
Following you.
So there is that. That's phenomenal analysis of Ronaldo's stuff. But I honestly think that how long can he go on for? And United fans realize that what we would keep doing is like pouring water into a basket.
Yeah.
Which is the
They should
question.
just support
Which is the question United fans have to answer. We're not paid enough for that. Right. Let's get on to. I think that's pretty much all the big games that were played. I don't think there's any other thing. Let's get away from that. Right. Porto actually beat AC Milan.
Yeah.
1-0.
Yeah.
I
was surprised.
I think Milan. Let me just
Wasn't
say.
surprising
Let me just
to
say
me.
they are experiencing.
Milan is just
this long time when you don't take where you meet person.
Yeah.
And they try, they understand.
There are some players out.
IBK.
You understand?
You know,
Yes.
right.
IBK. Apart from players out, IBK is right. When it's a long time that you've done something, if you're coming back into it,
What does that mean?
plus.
I was going to ask
Okay, look at it this way.
You
Okay,
don't
so what does that
understand
mean?
the
Let's put it into
Champions League vibes.
perspective. True.
It's
Let's put it
also
into perspective.
Yes, they don't
When
understand
last
it.
did
They don't understand it. A
when
proper
last did AC Milan
similar-
play the Champions
I don't
League?
look you since we did hear you the shout.
When last did AC Milan play the Champions League?
Right. Bring it down a notch. Make a no sweat for you.
When last did AC Milan play the Champions League?
Supi,
That was
Chill
like 7
now.
years
do you have
ago.
anything in your cup?
True. That's one. Secondly, what type of squad did they have when they were in their prime and now? Is it the same thing? No. Everybody in that era is no more present in this era. And they're just chill now. And they're just coming back into the Champions League, right?
Can I ask a question?
So it will be hard for them to just hit the ground running.
Can I ask a question? Football analyst. Before you became a football analyst, do you have a mentor in industry? No, answer now. No, I'm serious. Do you have a mentor in industry?
Of some sort, you have some people you look up to.
No,
not like mentor. I don't have like a mentor.
Do you have a personal relationship with the mentor?
No.
Have you ever been on the same production with the mentor?
No.
What are you on about?
So what I'm on about is, how do you honestly come, to a conversation and say the reason Milan didn't do so well in that game is because the era that won so the Champions League are not there.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, that's what you just.
No, I'm not saying that's the reason why they didn't do well in the game. But I'm saying why they've not had a very great start. I mean, they lost chill now. They lost.
Listen. The name of the manager.
The game against Atletico.
The name of the manager is Stefano Pirelli. Wasn't the manager when they won in 2007 or when was that? Wasn't the manager when they lost to Liverpool?
But
this is a different team, a different manager that just go back into the Champions League. What exactly do you mean by? Because
let me bail him out. What he's trying to say is that
you don't have to bail me out.
What's trying to say is that, like I said earlier, I think Milan really don't understand the ambience of the champions. Like I said, when you don't take away you see person.
You don't take where you see who you don't take where they see.
Like you don't take where I see you now. Let's say the last time I saw you.
Who you don't take where Milan see.
Baba, do you know the last
you
time
can't hit the ground running just like that? It won't happen.
You don't enter Champions League goal.
It won't happen.
Very long.
So that's why
it won't happen.
That's why you think
it's a factor.
Even Inter is still struggling.
It's a factor, bro.
Inter Milan is still struggling.
See, I think it would make more sense.
The problem is that
Inter Milan is still struggling.
The problem is that I understand what both of them are saying. What I would add is that I think they can struggle with juggling both, and I think at the moment they're not even comfortable juggling one. They're a team that are struggling to hold on to a consistent set of performances in this area. So when you throw in another,
you don't have that squad.
If you be like if you're a fresh child, and this is common for every Nigerian child.
Pressure too much.
When you be first speaking or you're a responsible child, I think that's the right word to use. And you the hustle. Small time they will call you, say how far,
But one day you could just break down.
No, if somebody, maybe one baby can't throw in our own problem. Because your family is always the family. One baby can't throw in, say, please, 2K urgently.
You go explode.
You go be like say he pass. The person not gonna say he passes 2K. You go be like say now only 2K.
You see what you talk now. You see what they talk. You see when that big throwing at that 2K, when you can't break down whatever you do. Don't tell me say the reason why you break down are because you don't take away one big. So you 2K.
No,
you get them now.
No.
So the reason why make you break down because Baba he no day like this, and then the one way day you don't commit them.
Let's move on. Right, so
it's Milan matter. Me they go to solve there. Don't be we go solve for here.
Liverpool, they don't pay me shishi.
They don't be we go solve for
here. So let's leave that. What's your take on the fans, the fan adulation Osimhen's getting at Napoli?
Oh, I love it. I think
it's a time. I think it's a dangerous time for him.
How do you mean?
It's great stuff, right?
Yeah.
Make no mistake. I think that when you go back to Nigerian football superstars, we've had not many.
Yeah.
We've had very good players.
Yeah.
But we haven't built superstars.
True.
Yeah.
Superstars that
got to
their image. Being a superstar is different from how talented you are.
True.
Yep.
True.
True.
That's
I think a guy like
Drogba is a superstar.
A guy like Jesse Lingard is a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
By function of the club he plays for.
Okay. And what he does in terms of the lifestyle he lives and how he portrays himself.
True.
So has a huge following with
True.
Maybe, to be honest, maybe superstar is too over. Is a stretch. But the point I'm trying to make is that I don't think we've built enough superstars in this country. We've had Kanu, we've had JJ.
Yeah.
Uneasy was not a superstar.
No, he wasn't.
As good as Uneasy was not a superstar.
No, he wasn't.
As good as Taribo
Taribo wasn't
a superstar.
He wasn't.
You know, we've had, in my opinion, we've had max 3 superstars.
When you say, what's his name?
Who's that?
Taibo.
West. Olise was not a superstar.
Olise wasn't. Except maybe to us, but not to the
But
world.
that's the thing. Olise played when it wasn't a social media age.
No.
It
No,
wasn't
all these
nothing.
players we mentioned too didn't play in the social media
when
age
the
now.
Kanu play.
When the Kanu play.
No.
When the
Listen,
Okocha play.
Listen. Osimhen, Kanu, Olise, and all these people. Obviously, Kanu is more of a superstar, also globally because of his club and But I don't think it is right to say Olise wasn't a superstar.
I would say on the
I don't
continent
think
of
so.
Africa.
What is right or wrong?
On the continent of
JJ is a
Africa.
bigger.
What is right or
But
wrong?
Olise,
I couldn't care less. One thing is for sure, superstars are determined by a lot of factors, first of all. But in terms of
pitch performance.
the I don't want to use marketability because that's too cliche. In terms of the value,
It's still marketability.
you know, it's still marketability. Yeah, you know, we can't put both on the same level, right?
No. Kanu is...
So let's go back to it. I think we've built very few superstars for a country that produces a lot of good players, right? So we've had JJ, we've had Kanu Wanko.
Yeah.
I think Ikbeba was a superstar as well.
Yeah. Prince of Monaco.
Yeah, Ikbeba was a superstar. After those players, I struggle to see what other players.
And maybe Finidi Judge.
I think Dan was a bigger superstar than Finidi.
I think
Dan.
I would disagree with
Dan
you.
and
Dan?
Amokachi.
Dan, yeah.
No.
This is a
I think
disrespect.
Finidi.
Finidi won the Champions League.
Finidi was big. That's
Finidi
what you
won
didn't
when
know.
Ajax
Watch him
was
in
the-
Ajax, you will
when,
know.
When Ajax was the crux of European football.
I think this is a
we're talking about
He
disrespect.
was even more celebrated in Ajax
Yubi,
than
I know.
Kanu.
I know.
This is a
Finidi was
disrespect.
more celebrated in Ajax than Kanu. That's what a lot of you didn't know.
This is a disrespect.
Yeah, a lot of you didn't know.
You guys should hear me out.
You know what,
I want to
you
bet
know what,
for
First
you.
of all, I can tell you for free, a lot of our comments will slag you off. First of all, you can tell for sure. You will
wanted
go
to say-
insult you tire. But that's
Yubi,
No,
this
it's fine.
is a disrespect to Paul Onuachu. Not calling him a superstar. with
Paul
what he has
Onuachu.
achieved.
I thought I was
this is
going
where
to
we-
mention
I was going to say
somebody.
this is where we end.
Paul-
But before we do that,
Paul
but
Onuachu.
before we do that, point I was going to make was that I think we're looking at who do they call me now? Jesus Christ. I know they call Yaba today. I
My
beg.
fans
No
love, my
vex.
fans love, my
Right.
fans love.
I know they call Yaba today.
Price.
Right, but the point I was trying to make is that, you see, we haven't had enough of those kind of players. The adulation they get. I think that what we have in this generation is we can turn Osimhen into a superstar.
Yeah.
So for the first time in years,
Yeah.
I've seen concurrently every single media platform, every single tabloid, every single news outlet talking about one player.
Osimhen, yeah.
The world at the moment, I mean, even the Kanu jumped on this.
Not just the Kanu.
Even
Even ex-players.
I think the Kanu is crazy.
Yes,
To be honest, I think the Kanu is crazy. Eccentric. He's carried that thing from his playing days into his, But when you think about,
we didn't mention Mikel.
hold on.
Yeah, we didn't mention...
Yeah, Mikel was.
Mikel.
Mikel
It's
was.
not about doing this show.
Hold on.
It's like...
Yeah, Mikel was.
Hold on. Was Mikel a superstar?
Yes, he is.
obviously.
He is.
It was everywhere.
Hold
He
on.
is.
Show why.
Hold on.
He is.
Let's hold on for a bit. Mikel was great prodigy at 17. Moved to Chelsea. The transfer scoreboard between Man United showed that he had
headlines.
superstar potential. At Chelsea, Mikel was a dominant player. Was it dominant? But because Chelsea had so many superstars, was soaked into second cadre.
What we're talking about is...
At a certain point.
What we're talking about is in the Super
at a
Eagles
certain
context.
point.
I'm not going to Super Eagles context.
At a
But that's
certain
what we're talking
point.
about. You mentioned Kanu, you mentioned all these people. It's
Everything
Super
I've-
Eagles
no,
context.
No, relax now. No, then you didn't get me right. Everything I've said is on a global stage. Kanu, unarguably, superstar, global stage.
Global
JJ,
stage.
global stage. I don't think you can say
Has Mikel been nominated
Mikel-
for African
Mikel
Best?
is.
No.
I don't think you can say that Mikel was a superstar on the global scale.
He was.
No, he wasn't.
No, he was.
I think when you compare...
You-
I
I
think
think
when
it
you
was.
Show why,
compare...
Maybe I think it was, it
I
was.
think when you compare him
No
to...
way.
I think
He
when you
was.
compare him to JJ and Kanu, he comes short.
Okay, should I tell you what? No, it's not that one. No, it's not the comparison
he
now.
comes below them.
So people don't get
the take is superstar.
Relax. So people don't forget the basis of the conversation. I think that Osimhen can be the next player to join the only two players, in my opinion, that we have had as bona fide superstars, JJ and Kanu.
No, potentially
right.
Start.
Even till today, when you think about Nigeria, if you travel out of the country today and go anywhere in the world, the most recognizable or identifiable football players in the world from Nigeria are JJ and Kanu.
Yeah. Chill.
Relax.
That's not happening right now. Chill. Wait now. We didn't say it's not a fact, but chill. Can you listen to me? Somebody tweeted recently, and she's among the Femco people, the Mo, M-O-E or whatever, what's her name? Mo or something on Twitter. Yeah, Mo Chivios. She tweeted, she was on holiday on an island or something. And she said, she told the person she's Nigerian. And the person said, do you know Mikel? That's the first person the guy asked. So the person didn't say
so what are you going to do
anything
on this show?
else. It's
What
Mikel.
are you going to do on this podcast is...
And you can't rule out Mikel. That's my take. You can't rule out Mikel.
What you're going to do is take...
Mikel was do you know how big Mikel was? I have somebody who stays in Sheffield. They know Mikel so much that they want...
He's fucking England. Are you kidding me? He's
fucking
fucking England.
Elsewhere. Even elsewhere. You go Ajax, they know Mikel.
Swimpy. That you don't understand that Mikel is not on the same level.
So in Russia, they don't know Mikel.
Can you,
Swimpy. Mikel dates the Russian girls. Are you kidding me?
Listen.
Where else do you want me to mention?
Swimpy.
Germany. Anywhere else?
Listen. JJ, Kanu, Mikel. How do you rank it?
1, 2, 3.
Obviously, you put Kanu, JJ, then Mikel.
Anyway, that's not important.
Please, moving on.
That's not important. The point is that... And you can,
but he's a superstar.
The thing is that you can come to your own podcast later.
He's a superstar.
But the point is that we are on the verge of having another absolute world star on our hands.
I think
what you don't realize is that when you play for Napoli, you don't play for the biggest club in Italy.
Yeah, you don't.
Right? When you dominate every single media outlet for the amount of times he has done it this season, and everybody now thinks that you are worthy enough to be mentioned in the same breath as Lukaku, Lewandowski, Harry Kane. I've seen Osimhen being mentioned in the same bracket as Harry Kane. I'm thinking, what is happening here? Look, and I think that we must realize the moment. And for me, I think that the guy is the most important person. Victor. If Victor can continue doing what he's doing, not even from a football point of view, but everything he's doing in terms of what the media is doing for him locally as well. And I think that this is where he needs to double down on local media as well.
Yeah.
Because what I have found is that local media can be a strong proponent of how you're perceived. You're perceived abroad. More so when you're in Nigeria.
It's not even about local media can be. Local media will be. Local media is one of the strong elements of announcing yourself as a superstar in Europe. And you can take your example from other industries. It is very difficult to announce yourself as a superstar in Europe if you are not a superstar in Nigeria or in Africa.
Definitely.
Take Whiskey Burner and Davido.
Yeah.
Right.
Very difficult. So as much as Nigerian footballers do not like to admit it, you have to really push your brand on the home front. You have to do it.
Yeah.
No, now I agree with you, and I want it to get to that point because I think Osimhen deserves it. But like you said, when you play for Napoli, you're not playing for the biggest team in Europe.
Which makes it more important in what he's doing.
In Serie A.
You get is the context, which is the perspective you have to think about.
You get.
Because when you play at Napoli, you're not playing for Juventus. You're not playing for Inter Milan. You're not playing for AC Milan.
But you see, when you say that and then say that, maybe Mikel is not, because you have to also remember, at the time Mikel started, he was being mentioned in the same bracket as Makalele, Michael Ballack. Yeah. Do you understand? So that's where I'm going in the sense that I want that to happen for Osimhen. It's just that with Napoli now, he needs to be able to move from Napoli to somewhere
bigger
that's going to really cement that spot. When Kanu played for Arsenal, Arsenal is the... You understand? So he needs to be able to move from Napoli to somewhere that's going to cement.
I think that's why they will always rate Kanu ahead of JJ. If
Definitely.
Didi had moved
To Manchester.
Man United.
You know, that should have been it. But look, shout out to Osimhen. Love it. Everything I'm seeing, absolutely adore the kid, you know. And I think we have to sell that narrative more and more.
Yeah.
The way Osimhen plays now.
They do.
And this is what a lot of people don't mention. Osimhen's all-round game is getting better.
Yeah, it
and
is.
better.
Sure.
And they're trusting him more.
He's doing everything now. You know,
And they're trusting him more.
Yeah, like, I think the transition from...
And they love him more.
Yeah, we love him more. I can talk about Osimhen all day, but I think that's that. I think we're
We
done.
had the privilege of being in the FIFA press briefing in Zurich yesterday.
Yep.
I think we'll talk about that next time.
Yeah, we would.
obviously,
We definitely have to.
Yeah.
Definitely have to. Myself and Rafai were there for the FIFA World press briefing rather, and we had Infantino and a couple of other guys there. We couldn't ask a question because, of course, you can imagine that, you know, lots of media houses were taken. But we had a guy from FIFA reach out to us and say, look, he watches the podcast, he loves it.
Yeah, we'll bring him on sometime.
Yeah, we'll bring him on sometime. And
You know what it is, man.
what we set out to do is try to meet our listeners where we think they want to be met.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, that is down to you. But just know that we're doing some good stuff behind the scenes, and that's all down to you. So great stuff. So just to remind, we're on Clubhouse sometime next week, but we have a page already on Clubhouse, an account. It's at the Hindsight Pod. So we're gonna set up a Clubhouse, and look, wouldn't it be great if we had 1,000 people there, you know, just talking football and, you know, enjoying the game real time. Everybody, good vibes, good energy, just the way we do it, Hindsight style. So Swimpy, always a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Great stuff. Even though with arguments are always good as well. Luckily, Rafai, always a pleasure as well. Great stuff. IBK, fantastic to have you back.
Always.
3 shows in a row, not easy. And to the rest of Lagos, to the rest of Nigeria, we love you. We'll see you soon. Hi there. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Please leave a subscribe on the channel, The Hindsight Podcast, and also on Instagram at The Hindsight Podcast. It's the same on Twitter as well. Leave a like, a retweet, or a comment. We'll see you soon.